Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. In this video, we're going to be talking about the best performing hoop shoes of 2025 so far. So these are the best performing hoop shoes of this year so far, but also it can be a little bit into the last part of last year, you know what I mean, the later part of last year. I mean, I try not to add too many old shoes. I mean, for example, like the AE1, the 8084 Ultra, you know, the Sabrina 2s, those are a little bit older, so I didn't include it in this list. But yeah, I mean, you guys already know those are amazing performers and you can still get them, right? But I just wanted to do like more newer shoes that in my opinion are really nice, right? So as far as like what I like to have in my hoop shoes, the number one priority for me in a basketball shoe is traction. So I am a guard, I'm a little bit smaller and kind of quick, you know what I mean? So I do need to prioritize being quick on the court, you know what I mean, doing really fast movements, stopping and going very fast, you know what I mean, doing side steps, step backs and stuff like that. So I do need very good traction for me, right? But also another thing that I like to have, which is kind of like a cherry on top, is a very nice cushioning setup, which in my opinion, you know what I mean, obviously cushion is super duper subjective, but like what I like to have is good core feel, right? But also adequate impact protection. Doesn't need to be amazing, but also I like to have like a very nice soft underfoot cushion with a nice subtle bounce, which I feel like a lot of shoes do really well nowadays, you know? And also obviously upper, not a huge deal for me. It doesn't have to be amazing for the quality, as long as it's like thin, it's supportive, it's comfortable overall. I do like a little bit of padding for the tongue and ankle area, but that doesn't matter too much. And also as far as like how the overall shoe feels, I like a lightweight shoe, you know what I mean? But also something that's like a little bit more springy feeling, especially for like the sole of the shoe. Something not like super like soft and flexible, you know what I mean? So anyways, again, this is just my list, and if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I try to leave in the affiliate link in the description box. If you do choose to get any of these shoes, it does help me out if you buy it through the affiliate link in the description box. And also, a lot of you guys have been asking me about what socks I've been wearing in all my videos. It's actually my brand, it's called Young Hoon, and I made like a versatile sock, right? So I wanted something that, you know, I could casually wear just like out, you know, and be very comfortable, because it has a lot more padding than just like a traditional regular sock. It looks good as well, and also it has a nice bit of padding, but not as much padding as like a dedicated basketball sock, you know what I mean? So you can also hoop in it and also work out in it. That's actually what I do. So yeah, if you guys do want to get it, a link to that will be in the description box. But let's get it started off with the 361 degrees Team Joker, and also the Joker one, right? So the main thing for me about the Joker one, however, is the traction, right? So the traction is really nice, but it does pick up dust, and it's not the easiest to wipe off, and also does pick it up fairly quickly, you know, not super quickly, but it does pick it up, right? And it does start to slide around on dust. But from my experience, the Team Joker actually has better traction than the Joker one, so that's why I like the Team Joker a little bit more, but the Joker one's still very nice, right? The cushion is pretty much identical. If I'm nitpicking, I would say the Joker one's a little bit softer, but not by much, you know what I mean? But they both have very soft and very comfortable underfoot cushion. Good core feel overall. The upper, I would say, is very soft and very nice and thin, but also the overall shoe for both of these shoes is very supportive, right? So yeah, as far as the price goes, the Joker one is 130 bucks, and then the Team Joker is 120 bucks. So if you do want to save money, but also want the overall better performer because the slightly better traction performance on dust, then the Team Joker is going to be the better option. But again, they're both very nice, right? And I very much enjoyed playing in both of the shoes. And moving on to the next shoe, we got the Li-Ning Ultralight 2025. So the Ultralight 2025 is one of the lightest hoop shoes that you can get right now. It's extremely freaking light. It's literally the exact same weight as the Kobe 8s, which is the lightest shoe that I've ever weighed, right? And a lot of people were saying, you know, get the Gamma ones, they're super light. Yeah, I know, I'm trying to get a pair, but it's very expensive. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can't really get it in the US either. But anyways, yeah, the Ultralight 2025 is extremely lightweight. You know what I mean? But also the traction is phenomenal, right? You got GCU in the forefoot, I believe it was. And the traction just, it has a really good bite on a clean court. But also on dust, it bites through dust extremely well. But if it picks up dust, it's a very easy wipe, right? And it seems pretty durable. The cushion also is really nice. It's just not the best for impact protection, right? So when I was doing hard impacts, especially like on heel strikes, the cushion and the foam is kind of soft. So my heel would dig in through that foam and then touch the ground a little bit, and it would hurt a little bit, you know what I mean? But not terrible, but anyways, underfoot cushion also is, like I said, really nice, super soft, it's bouncy. There's a nice bit of compression in the heel. The upper is also really thin. Ventilation is amazing. The overall support is adequate. Obviously, it's not going to be the most supported shoe, but it does have good support for how lightweight and also for how thin the material is, you know what I mean? So yeah, the Ultralight 2025, definitely do not sleep on it, especially if you're a guard. If you want a lightweight responsive shoe, it's an amazing option, right? So there is the Ultralight 2025. Next we got the ANTA Kai 2, right? So I'm pretty much done testing them out, but yeah, the Kai 2, I'm really enjoying playing it, right? The only thing which is not, it doesn't really have anything to do with performance, but it's really freaking hot. My feet were hot, like they were burning in that shoe, you know what I mean? But anyways, other than that, the traction is really nice, right? It does pick up a little bit of dust, and it does slide out a little bit, you know what I mean, if you let too much dust build up on it. Other than that, if you keep up with your wipes, you have really good traction, right? But also, you have that nice outsole curvature, which feels great. It reminds me a lot of like the earlier Nike Kyries, you know what I mean? Like the Kyrie 2, 3, and 4. The Kyrie 5, 6, and beyond have an outsole curvature, but it doesn't indent in as much as like the 2, 3, and 4, right? So the Kai 2 reminds me of that a little bit more. It helps me stay on the balls of my feet a little bit more as well, which feels great. The cushion, oh my goodness, the cushion is phenomenal, guys. Actually, I can definitely see some people saying it's a little bit too soft, however, you know what I mean? Like, again, I'm a very lightweight person, you know what I mean? I'm not super heavy, I'm pretty small, you know? So it doesn't feel super mushy to me as far as the overall cushioning goes, but I feel like, you know, I mean, I was working out in it as well, like squatting and stuff, and I felt like it was really soft, you know what I mean? When I was kind of like squatting and, you know, adjusting my foot a little bit, you know what I mean? So it did feel pretty dang soft when I was squatting. So I can definitely see, like, you know, if you're very heavy, like 250 pounds, it might be a little too soft if you want like a really responsive feel, but I feel like for most people, it should be fine, right? But yeah, the underfoot cushion, super soft, a very plush, nice little bounce. The upper is thin, but also the overall like shoe is cozy. It's a responsive shoe, very comfortable. So yeah, I really enjoy playing the Kai 2, right? And if I want something a little bit more responsive, you know what I mean? A little bit stiffer, then I would pick the All City 13. The All City 13 is one of my go-to shoes. Like, I always have that shoe ready to go in my bag. And the traction is phenomenal, you know what I mean? Like, I have the translucent, but also the solid rubber outsole. And it's really nice bites, like top tier bite on a clean court, but also picks up very minimal dust and bites through dust extremely well. The cushion, however, is more responsive, right? It is using full-length boom, however, it is using like a stiffer strobo board, so it's definitely not as soft as like the Kai 2 or like the All City 12 Encore. Once I get going, it does get a little bit softer, but it's definitely not as soft, you know what I mean? Core feels great, but also there's like something really like versatile about that shoe, you know what I mean? It's a really thin upper, but the overall shoe is extremely supportive with the Vajra skin upper, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's lightweight, but really supportive. So yeah, the All City 13, very nice, right? Alright, next we got the Nike GT Cut 3 Turbo. I really enjoy playing that shoe as well. The only thing I don't like about that shoe is the court feel. It is kind of high up off the ground, but other than that, the cushion's really nice, first of all. Impact protection is great. Underfoot cushion is nice and soft and plush. The traction also is phenomenal, and one thing that I really love about this shoe that like none of the other shoes on this list do very well, I guess besides the next shoe, is the springiness. You know what I mean? The All City 13 is pretty springy. Other than that, like, yeah, the GT Cut 3 Turbo with the carbon fiber plate, it's just really freaking like springy feeling, you know what I mean? So it feels explosive, especially out of the first step, also doing heel dominant strides on the court. The upper, it's not the thinnest material, but it does feel very supportive and pretty cozy. And also, it's not like a bulky shoe either. So yeah, it's just a really different feel from all the other shoes on this list, but it's a really nice performer nonetheless. So yeah, I really enjoy playing in the GT Cut 3 Turbo. Next, we got the AR2. The AR2 is very nice, right? So the traction, stay away from translucent rubber, right? If you can, right? The first colorway that I got was terrible on dust, but the other colorways that I have, they're all solid rubbers and they all perform way better on dust than the translucent reds. So yeah, you have top tier traction. Also the cushion, right? By the way, the AR2 is only $100, which is insane, right? And you're getting a really nice cushion. You have a soft mesh strobo board, so the underfoot cushion step-in comfort is really nice, but also you have a nice bit of compression in the heel as well. Core feel is pretty good. The upper is really thin, but the overall shoe supportive, and it feels pretty springy in the forefoot as well, which I do like. The only thing I don't like about that shoe is that the upper doesn't feel super durable. You know what I mean? So it feels like it'll you know, develop a hole pretty quickly or relatively quickly comparing to like a leather material or something that has like an overlay or something. So obviously that doesn't really have anything to do with performance. It's just the longevity of the shoe. But yeah, the AR2 is very, very nice, right? Alright, next we got the Li-Ning Liren 5. So I would say the Liren 5 is overall better than the Ultralight 2025. However, it is a little bit heavier, but it's still, like, the Liren 5 is freaking lightweight, right? So it's lightweight, it's minimal, but the traction is top tier. You have an amazing bite. It picks up very minimal dust as well, but also it seems pretty dang durable for outdoor use just for the outsole, right? The cushion also is really nice. I would say the Liren 5 is better than the Ultralight 2025, right? So like I said, the 2025, it's not the best for impact protection, like hard impacts, but the Liren 5 actually felt way better, right? My feet really never hurt, even when I was doing like harder impacts. It also has a nice bounce to it in the heel, which is great. And also the underfoot cushion is really nice. It's soft and plush. The upper is very thin and minimal and also very breathable, but also the overall shoe is like supportive, you know, like adequate for support. Obviously not the most supportive, you know, shoe that you can get, but adequate for how lightweight that shoe is, right? And also pretty dang springy, you know what I mean? So yeah, the Liren 5, super duper nice. I really love playing that shoe. And last but not least, of course, we got the series player only Easy One. So the Easy One, yeah, it's one of my favorite hoop shoes as well. If I want just a really like reliable shoe, right? The traction is phenomenal. It has the hardest stop on this entire list, you know what I mean? Like it literally stops just as hard as Curry flows, and also picks up very minimal dust and bites through dust very well. So yeah, the traction is it's phenomenal, you know, it's top tier. The cushion also, I really love how you can change up the cushioning setup, and for me, I put the explosive drop in midsole into the Easy One, and it has amazing cushion. It's bouncy and all that. The upper is thin, but also the overall shoe is really supportive too, especially since like that drop in midsole has that kind of texture. It grabs your sock, the lockdown's great, support's great, you know. Also, it's a really cool looking shoe, you know what I mean? Especially with the colorways that are coming out, it just looks like a great kind of like casual shoe, you know what I mean? Like you can wear it casually, but also like if you want to hoop, you know what I mean? Like maybe you're just walking down the street, there's an outdoor court and people are calling you out and you're like, all right, let's hoop right now. I got my hoop shoes on, you know? Anyways, I'm just joking, but it's a great looking shoe nonetheless, in my personal opinion, and it's a great performer. So yeah, those are all my favorite hoop shoes for the past, like, or like of recent memory. Like I said, there are other shoes like that are older that aren't on this list but are still really good performers, like the Sabrina 2, Victory 5.0 Quick Pro and all that, but I just didn't include on this list because it is a little bit older. But anyways, that about concludes this video. Again, this is just my personal opinion, so tell us what your favorite hoop shoes have been for this year down in the comment section below. And again, if you guys do want to get any of these shoes, I try to leave in the link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.